in these rapid and blitz formats, and both representing the US. Levon Aronian, originally from Armenia, has moved to the US, and these two, in that sense, are teammates. And they, of course, have a very long history of having played against each other in the freestyle chess tournaments. They've played against each other in the Champions Chess Tour millions of times, it feels like. So these two know each other very well, and their openings is flying by.
Exactly, and it starts with the bishop's opening, which is quite a rare guest at the top level of chess. Often that's designed to sidestep the Petrov defense. But this looks very healthy for Hikaru already, slightly better for black. He has the center after all. He has the knight supporting the center. This is the exact formation we're taught when we first learn chess to go for. And here, if he can consolidate Hikaru, bring his bishops out, get his king castled, then he will simply be enjoying life. So Levon, what does he have in store? He needs to attack the black pawns in the center before it's too late. Maybe with his rook, maybe his bishop will come out to install a pin. Maybe the knight will also come out now. Early days. And there we see Levon Aronian appear. Looks like he's back home as well, potentially. And yeah, I'm not sure what to predict. This is a banana skin for Hikaru, and he tends to be slower and show a lot of respect to these kind of top guys. That's the one thing I would say. On the clock already 25 seconds behind, and that's very rare for Hikaru Nakamura.
And Levon, he's one of the top players that I so far haven't seen win one of these Titled Tuesdays after they have changed the format a little bit, removed the increment. But he hasn't played that many of these Titled Tuesdays either. So maybe it's his New Year's resolution as well to get started. And he must have a lot of confidence. He won he did very well in the freestyle chess in December. He was participating in the rapid and blitz. I mean, he's had a very good chess year, Aronian. And I remember I thought it was very funny in some interviews during the freestyle final. He was talking about the fact that he has made a lot of money this year. I'm rich, he said.
I know, I'm jealous. I think he had his best earning year ever, Levon Aronian. And to do that at the age of, I think, 43 now, kind of maybe not in the first half of his chess career, that is very impressive and life-changing. So yeah, I think freestyle chess played a huge part of that. He won 2 tournaments back-to-back in Las Vegas, South Africa. But in general, he's had some real breakthrough results, and maybe not the best he's ever played at the World Rapid and Blitz, but yeah, it's I think in general a fantastic 2025 for Levon. He looks like he's maybe got an exotic island behind him. Has he bought an island with all that cash?
Where is Aronian? We need to figure this out. But Hikaru, he seems to be at home in his well-known streaming studio where he always sits. So good that Hikaru's home now that he has recently gotten his firstborn child. So that's interesting as well to see how that will affect his chess. But it seems like he's very concentrated. He seems like himself.
Exactly. Hikaru looks locked in. He looks focused. He has a great team around him, support network. His wife is also a very experienced chess player, very strong chess player. So she knows kind of how to help him perform week in, week out. I'm going to say interesting position. Since we last talked about things, there has been a doubling of the black f-pawns. White's bishop has come and taken a knight. So that has shattered the black king. Hikaru has also given up castling rights. He had to sidestep a check from the white bishop. That means long-term, that black king is not entirely safe. That being said, black center still lives, still exists, and Hikaru's established a threat. I was going to say the idea was that there was a pin, so the black pawn was going to come down and overwhelm the white knight. The rook therefore moves out the way. Not purely defensive though. Hikaru might be facing a pawn storm from Levon. And okay, who's storming each other? Who's storming whose pawns here?
But look at Hikaru's face. Is he unhappy?
Time to think on every move. I suspect I'm better, but...
All right, he suspects he's better. The bar doesn't completely agree, but sometimes it's more important to just have a good feeling about the position. And Hikaru obviously feels like he's got a lot of space. He has 3 pawns in the center of the board, so he seems to be feeling confident.
Yeah, and he was right that he was slightly better if he hadn't pushed this third pawn. I think 2 pawns you can hold. Earlier, this pawn on f6 before it moved, it was defending the center. The other one's quite well defended by multiple pieces. So I think he's just made things a bit more loose, if that makes sense. This pawn now is undefended in the near future. Suddenly, it's quite a heavy burden to bear.
It's too good to be true.
Yeah.
There's 3 pawns in the center. Oh, and there comes the challenger. the pawn storm that you were expecting, David, and now Hikaru is forced to ruin his perfect pawns.
Exactly. The move you want to play is to step forward, but that comes with complications. You have to calculate what happens if white just starts exchanging things. And yeah, there we go. He trades off bishop for knight first. Taking the pawn on f4 would have been terrible for the black pawn structure. The remaining pawns would all have been isolated and weak. So he does keep the 3 intact, but he has lost some control over the light squares in the process. And this is not going to be easy for either side to play, with time ticking dangerously low now.
And Hikaru, his king cannot castle. It's kind of weak. But now Aronian is also making his own king weak, but also attacking towards Hikaru. So both players here having a lot of ambition and marching forward with their pawns.
Oh, and why is that a bad move? I mean, it's blowing open the center. And I think maybe just the fact that the black king is easier to get to, it's closer to the action. That's why Hikaru is struggling in this position. But Levon has so much choice. Does he take this pawn? Does he take this pawn? This pawn? He's got 3 choices there alone, let alone the bishop exchange as well. 4 big options. Levon trusts his instincts and takes a pawn in the center. Magnus is in a complicated endgame, apparently. This is a super complicated middle game we have in front of us. And it does look like Hikaru is not in his comfort zone. That's the main thing. He's getting attacked, which he hates. And it's also a Levon type of position, I'd say. Wild.
That's what I've also noticed about Levon's amazing 2025 chess year, was that he really isn't worried. And maybe the fact that he's gotten a little bit older, he doesn't feel like he has anything to prove. He's not as focused about qualifying for the candidates. Like, he's playing a lot of tournaments for fun. And then you can kind of see him have like this joy and kind of carelessness when he's playing. So this is exactly the kind of games that he likes to play, when there is chaos everywhere. Pawns are being taken. Nobody has a safe king. It's just chaos everywhere.
Yeah, that's the key. The fun, the freedom to play good chess. Like, you need to not get kind of bogged down thinking about draws, results, about blunders. Hikaru has got back into the game, though. I don't like Levon giving up this pawn, the black rook allowed to take it. I think maybe he could have guarded that pawn and kept an advantage. Now, the big question is whether the black knight can leap forward with a fork on the white queen, the white rook. It does do that.
Ooh.
The queen could have checked in the corner, but the black rook would have gone back to block. Queen gave a different angle check, and now the knight is hanging. It's pawn up for Levon Aronian, but suddenly, if anyone's king is weaker, maybe it's the white king. There we go. There's a huge pin on this diagonal. He's desperately trying to get the queens off Levon. He wants to bail out into an endgame. He knows he can at least hold, but clock's a dead level.
Yeah.
Oh, have we just seen a blunder from Hikaru Nakamura? Queen takes queen looks very, very strong here. He wants to take back with his rook, but that would be a huge mistake. The white rook would be able to give a check, and the white knight would jump in to hit both black rooks. Hikaru's reacting. He's blundered.
He had to take with the pawn.
Oh, that is bad. Look at these pawns. Huge weaknesses now, both of them.
And both of them are down to approximately a minute left on the clock. The knights are traded. Both pawns kind of suck, but apparently it's Hikaru who has the biggest problems, and he's 1 pawn down as well.
Wow, and here we see both sides now down around the 1 minute mark and under. Hans Niemann won his game with only 50 seconds spent.
Wow.
That is incredible, but that's what the players are going to have to do now from this endgame. They've only got 50 seconds left. They need to speed up, and Levon is the one in the driver's seat. Pawn up, active rooks, targets. Black only has 4 pawns, and they're all isolated. This is really, really scary.
And now Hikaru has to play defense, defend his pawn close to his king, while Aronian, he is attacking the other pawns on the other side of the board. But look at Hikaru's reactions right now.
Oof. He knows his
Yeah,
loss.
I'm too slow. You got to find a trick.
You got to find a trick. Can he find a trick? They both have 30 seconds left.
Oh, there's not many pieces left, so it's going to be difficult to find a trick. Although Levon, wow, going walkabout with his king, that is an adventurous piece. He's going to close the door here. There we go. He's locked the door behind his king, which is actually super safe. No checks around it, and the white pawns are just going to win this game. No tricks. Levon's so close now, under 20 seconds though. He wants that new queen. He's so close. Oh, and the white king is so safe. It can step forward and take a pawn if it wants to. Levon, he's not known for his pre-moves, though. He's not known for his mouse speed. Red, clock. 10 seconds,
We have
8
less than
seconds.
10 seconds left.
He's got a new queen, though.
Hikaru hasn't given up.
Oh, wow. 5 seconds. Come on, Levon. Get rid of the rook. Get rid of the pawn. And now you can pre-move. And Hikaru resigns.
There we go. Wow. He really kept us on our toes there, Levon. He wasn't... he was taking his time in those final positions.
He really played it close to the knuckle there. But Levon, it would have been easy. The reason Hikaru resigned, you just push your pawn pre-move to victory. And eventually the queen and rook create a ladder checkmate. And 3 seconds more than enough. But Hikaru's going to be kicking himself. That was not a great game for him.